Get ready for a thrilling MotoGP race recap. Underdog triumphs at the Australian GP. In a stunning display of skill and strategy, Raul Fernandez emerged victorious at the Australian Grand Prix, claiming his first ever MotoGP win. But here's where it gets controversial. Pre-race favorite Marco Bezzecchi, despite a penalty, managed to secure a podium finish. Fernandez, riding for Trackhouse, started strong, battling with Pedro Acosta. Then, capitalizing on Bezzecchi's double long lap penalty, he took the checkered flag at Phillip Island with a comfortable 1.4-second lead. VR46's Fabio di Giannantonio led the Ducati charge to finish second, with Alex Marquez completing the podium on a Gresini GP24. The race began with Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo, starting from pole, making his usual poor launch. This allowed Bezzecchi and Fernandez to take the lead for Aprilia, with Acosta also moving into third. Bezzecchi, aware of his penalty for crashing into Marc Marquez at the Indonesian GP, pushed hard early on. On lap 5, Bezzecchi took his first long loop, dropping to third behind the battling Fernandez and Acosta. Serving the penalty cost him further positions, leaving him in sixth, almost 4 seconds behind the race leader. With Bezzecchi out of contention, Fernandez began to pull away, creating a 1.5-second gap between himself and Acosta. Acosta upped the pace on lap 12, putting pressure on Fernandez, but the Trackhouse rider responded swiftly, extending his lead to over 2 seconds. From there on, Fernandez was untouchable, securing a maiden win for MotoGP's newest team and Aprilia's second win in 2025. While Fernandez's victory was certain by halfway, the other podium spots remained undecided until late in the race. Acosta, who had briefly led early on, had to focus on Alex Marquez, who had risen to third, from sixth on the grid. Marquez made a textbook pass on lap 16 to grab second, as Acosta struggled with his tires. However, it was Di Giannantonio who ultimately claimed second place, passing his Gresini rival on lap 23. Third place was also decided late, with Bezzecchi charging through the field in the final laps to snatch the final podium spot from Marquez on the penultimate lap. Marquez had to settle for fourth, while Acosta, despite being Fernandez's closest challenger in the first half, could only manage fifth. Factory Honda rider Luca Marini finished just 0.04 seconds behind Acosta in sixth, followed by Yamaha's Alex Rins. All 4 KTMs finished inside the top 10 with Brad Binder leading the way. Pole-sitter Quartararo lacked the pace to stay at the front, eventually finishing 11th, just ahead of Pramac Yamaha's Miguel Oliveira. Home hero Jack Miller was running in the top 6 early, but lost the front end of his M1 on lap 5. Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia also failed to finish, crashing at Siberia with 4 laps to go. Bagnaia's non-score has elevated Aprilia's Bezzecchi to third place in the standings. The Australian GP was a thrilling display of racing, with unexpected twists and turns. What do you think about the race outcome? Share your thoughts and predictions for the next MotoGP race in the comments.